Why didn't you like the movie? Some people just say, you know what, it didn't like, it wasn't that funny. Then you get the other people that, you know what, the characters didn't. Who gives a fuck, guy? Was it worth the fucking $8 when you were sitting there?
And I paid 14 or whatever. It wasn't worth it.
Any time of that movie, did you think about eating pussy? That's my test. Any time in the movie, you're like, I can't wait to eat that chick's snacks. This movie sucks because you're already with you.
Oh, come on, you.
Listen, brother. If you take care of yourself all around, listen. In China, they smoke 3 times the amount that we smoke, and the cancer rate is less. Yeah. We abuse our bodies at every fucking angle here. Cancer is very hereditary. It's very hereditary. And I'm not saying you can't get it if you don't fucking live in Jersey. You'll fucking get it, especially where I grew up, close to those fucking swamps. And it's an odds game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like anything else. You go out one night to Santa Monica, you're drunk. You want to get your dick sucked, you pick up a transsexual or transvestite, he sucks your dick and you got the HIV.
We were just talking about that.
It's your only dick sucking and you got the HIV. So it's a fucking,
You can't get HIV from dick sucking.
Whatever the fuck, it doesn't matter, you know. You know how fucking cold? Ask Joe Rogan. I had my windows open in the hotel, and Joe said he would stand outside my door. And you would
in Chicago.
And you would hear the wind blowing through my room.
Where'd you guys stay when you were there?
At the fucking peninsula downtown.
Oh,
tremendous,
yeah. Right in the loop there?
Fucking tremendous.
Great town, man.
It's a great town. Let me tell you something. I had a real fucking hot Italian beef combo with sweet
great food,
and
great
peppers.
people, great bars.
I mean, it was fucking amazing.
Yep.
It
great
was
sports
fucking
town.
Amazing. And you know, you can't smoke dope on the streets. It's not like liberal here, but I kept smoking dope on the streets. And people would look at me and just wink. Like, that's all right, dog. You're a good man. You're fucking spreading the fucking smoke of life. What's up, DT? In the motherfucking house. Look at him. With his little Fidel Castro Jr. beard. I like it.
He's glowing.
You meet somebody, they don't do nothing. They don't do nothing. They don't date. They don't do drugs. They don't play checkers. They don't do nothing. How long do you like those people for? You don't. I like people with a little bit of edge to them. They got to do something. If you tell me I don't like alcoholics, but I love heroin, I'm in. If you tell me you suck toes for breakfast, I'm in. You got to do something.
If you were put in a position to defend yourself, what would come out? Would it be the jiu-jitsu training or would it be the Jersey in you?
The gun, bitch. I'm 53. I ain't got time to hand-to-hand wrestle. I got a 22 in my asshole right now, pointing straight at you. I played freshman ball, and we were playing Patterson East Side. That's just a jungle of a school. Like, you got to be careful when you go in there. And we went there to play the Christmas tournament.
Wait, what kind of ball are we talking right now?
Basketball.
Oh, basketball.
And I hadn't taken a shit for like 10 days. I was backed up something. I took acid, something fucked my stomach up. I didn't tell nobody. In those days, I was really scared of doctors, and I wouldn't say shit to nobody. And on the way home, we got on the bus. And while we were waiting there, my stomach started hurting. And I said, Jesus Christ, I don't know if I'm going to shit myself or fart, but let me just take a chance.
Good move.
And I blew this fart, Joe Rogan. That was so bad, right? We were on a bus, and people started running, you know, the school buses? People started running to the windows, right, to swing down the bus windows. But here's what gets better. I farted again, and the teachers were going, oh, my God, he's changing flavors. But the worst thing was the cheerleaders were crying. That's how bad it smelled. They were sitting in front of the bus going,
What do you mean? He's changing flavors.
One of the teachers yelled out, oh my God, he's changing flavors. That's how bad these farts were. They have not found Osama bin Laden, and he's in New York right now. Somebody seen him last week at a hot dog stand. They know it. You got to fucking go in New York, man.
Yeah, you got to go.
People don't go like this in New York at a stop sign.
Yeah.
You know how they do here? Like, no, you go. Get the fuck, somebody fucking go already. You fucking moron, I got to get to the weed store. I fucking hate, like, if somebody calls me and says, hey, call, God forbid, Tom Segura. His dad passed away. I give it a day. I call him like I usually do. Tom, I love you. I'm sorry about your dad. And then I'll just drop like, what are we getting in the will? You know what I'm saying? Is it going to your fucking creepy sister? Or are we getting, you know, what are we? And people usually go, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
Thank you for making me laugh.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Nobody has the balls to call and insult me. Like, I'll call people and go, you got a brother? what do you want? Do you want to light him on fire so he gets nothing? Nobody
So he
else,
gets nothing.
Nobody else can test the will. And they'll die of laughter. They're like, don't push me, because I hate that motherfucker as it is. And for 5 minutes, I just made their day.
They killed Michael Jackson?
No, I don't know.
Look at the movie. He was dancing and singing, and next you know he's dying of oxygen. No, not right. A junkie's a junkie every day. He doesn't wake up, sing and dance, and then he has oxygen tanks at night. Something's not right there. And in my case, like old school, you're worth more dead than what you are alive. I mean, he's worth more now than he's ever been. I think Paul McCartney killed Michael Jackson. That's what I think.
What's changed where they go on Fox News?
They don't give a fuck no more, because nobody said nothing. They don't give a fuck. Why would they? Half of these kids are coming back. This is the worst.
It doesn't matter if they're addicted. Cussing is what's bad.
No. You can't do nothing to me that Castro hasn't already done. And when this shit goes down...
Wasn't that in Scarface?
That's right, and I got to re-quote that motherfucker right there. I flew in the flight afterwards, and I had fucking a bag.
I knew an F word was coming.
With, I had a little bag of reefer in my fucking...
No, you didn't.
I do. Well, this is a conspiracy thing. This is just to show you how hard the airport people are working with their fucking x-ray machine. Now, I had it in a bag here, and I put it under my left nut.
No, okay, we're not telling this story. That's enough.
Yes, for freedom of speech. I'll call Obama right now. With that
gives you estrogen.
I don't give a fuck what it gives me. With that, though, the sweat's coming out of my fucking foreheads, the estrogens, my tits are getting hard. I get out of the car, and right there on Chandler, I just start puking, and it's all green.
Oh, God.
It's all green.
It's green.
Just chunks of green.
Your body's broken it down.
It just broke me down.
To the weed.
I fucking said, I got back in the car, I said, Lord, if you get me home, I'll never eat banana bread. I'll never eat a fucking banana. I'll never go to the zoo. I got home, I ran upstairs, and I just lay on the couch naked. I'll never forget when my wife walked in, she's like, whoa, what happened to you? I go, don't even ask. She knew. She goes, you keep fucking around with that shit in the afternoon. I see you back there eating. I knew it was
back there eating banana.
The thing about Joey was over my podcast once. We were doing the podcast, and as the podcast started, he just starts eating this cookie.
This is the body of Christ compels you.
I overdosed the other day, Joe.
Yeah, I heard. What happened? You gonna eat that whole thing? Oh, you're a fuck you.
No,
get
fuck
that away.
it. Get that away. Fuck that.
I'm scared. I got nervous to be in the room with it because I was just watching him take chunks out of this fucking cookie. And I know I'm smelling the weed in this cookie. I'm like, this is chaos. You're not supposed to eat a whole cookie. Fuck that. And he just keeps going. And then an hour and 20 minutes later, we're still doing the podcast, and Joey's gone. There's nowhere. No Joey. No Joey's left. He's like, dog, I have no idea what we're talking about.
I don't even like, listen.
You can never eat edible marijuana that Joey Diaz gives you unless you have Thorazine on hand. Don't take that stuff.
Unless you have a fucking big hypodermic filled with adrenaline that you could stuff into your chest.
Stick in your jugular vein. Just Joey Diaz gave me once gave me like some breath strips. I guess this is the first time I'd taken breath strips, and he was like, "Eat 2 of these," and I'm like, I only took half of one of these, knowing him, and I was driving home on the interstate, and was like, well, it's definitely the apocalypse. The world is ending. I see that clearly now. There was a McDonald's, and I was going to stop my car and run to the McDonald's to get a burger because traffic wasn't moving. That's how bad the logic was working in my mind. Anyway, I get home. I'm having the most terrible marijuana trip. I'm laying in bed. I'm like, oh my God, the world's ending. My heart's pounding. Phone rings. Phone rings. Joey Diaz. I answer it. He's like, welcome to my house, motherfucker.
There was at least 100 times where Joey pulled his dick out on stage.
Jealous.
The one that I took my fucking dick out.
This is the one I gotta tell.
That's the first time
the
ever.
Girl, what's her?
What
the fuck's her name? The female comic.
Oh, the one that sued Don Barris?
Yes. What is her name? Judy
Canciati.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what happens. She goes on stage. We shouldn't have said her name. She goes on stage. So she's on stage and she's not doing very well. And we're all barbecued there. It was a small crowd. So while she's on stage, Joey goes into the back area. There's like this backstage area that's like in the OR. The OR is a small room. It only seats about $1.50, but it does have a stage with a little backstage area. So Joey goes into the backstage area. He goes to the backstage area and takes off all of his clothes, and he waits. And so she's doing her act, and when she gets to her punchlines, she hits the punchline, and Joey opens the curtains and shakes his dick and then closes them up real quick, and the people go crazy. And you see this spark in her eye, like, the jokes are finally working. Like, I'm finally doing it. You could see her relax, and every time she hit a punchline, Joey would pop open that curtain, shake his dick, and close it. And the people were fucking just stomping their feet, laughing, slapping their tables. She had so much confidence the next night. You remember the next time we saw her on stage? And the same jokes just didn't work. It was like,
They just weren't the same.
She had the magic. Like, she had it for one night.
But the weird thing is, remember when Allison was on and we had talked about being a open mic comic and how a lot
Guys
of these
that were
guys
thinking they wanted to be gay, like guys that had families and shit, that wanted to get their dick sucked, would have a few drinks in them, and they'd go to Hudson County Park to see if there was somebody there to get their dick sucked. Like before I went into your show last night, I parked. Sean just said, park in this lot. I didn't park in that lot. I parked in a lot that was empty, and when I was walking over there, some dude kept making weird eye contact with me. He wanted to suck dick. I don't taste down.
No, he looked at you. Could have thought you were big pussy from the Sopranos.
No.
You want to suck my dick? I know that.
I know when somebody looks at me.
Maybe it's a fan of his comedy.
I know when somebody looks at me because they see me from the podcast.
Joey's
I
got
know
like
when somebody
a
looks at
guide
me
in his head.
No.
What does that look mean?
No.
Suck my dick.
I know exactly. I know it's either he had two looks to him. Either he wanted to sell me drugs, or he wanted to suck my dick.
Okay, how'd you decide that it was dick?
How creepy it was.
Oh, okay.
Just his appearance. I don't want to say he looked gay.
Right.
But just his
But
appearance.
he looked gay.
He was a male prostitute. Let's
okay.
pretend he was
His
a male
mouth was
prostitute.
watering.
Okay.
Okay, so
Anyway, so these guys.
these guys would come down and they'd be half drunk. Like in hindsight, I think about it, and they're all these type of dudes that may not just be gay. They just have a family, but
Right.
they like the gay. You know, it's
That'd be
1980.
gay though, wouldn't it?
In 1980, it wasn't easy to go, I'm coming out of the closet. There was a lot of guys in. Let me talk to you about something. you ever been around the guy? Tell me the truth as a man. You ever been around the guy that when you get in your car and go home, you're like, you know what?
For sure.
I could definitely talk that dude into sucking my dick. He's dying to suck a dick. Even though he's got a hot girlfriend and a kid and they got a dog and he goes to fucking CrossFit, you could tell maybe he could mingle on the other side. You could talk him into switching governments if
He's
you
got
had
a
to.
kid and a
And a
dog.
dog. I know a lot of dudes like that that you look at and you go,
living
something
a
ain't
lie.
right. This guy
Every
could
guy
suck
out
a
there
dick.
who, with a kid who's walking his dog is like, fuck, am I gay?
No.
Do
I'm
I
not
want to
sure.
suck dick?
Maybe you have evil fantasies like Rob Halford in Hell Bent for Leather. You know that song?
but
You
Rob
do
Halford's
the
whole-
evil fantasy.
But he was gay as fuck.
No, I'm not saying that. I love Rob Halford. I love Rob
I do
Halford.
too.
But I'm just saying that
You got another thing coming.
there's a lot of fucking guys, dog, that you see, that you know. Maybe their dad's still alive and he was a Marine. You can't go
What the
home
fuck
and
does that mean?
You can't go home and tell your dad who was a general, I want
okay.
to suck dick full time.
I see what you're
I
saying.
You know what I'm saying? So
I
they
thought
play
you were
the
saying
game
like
for a
those
while.
guys, if your
They
dad was
play the
alive,
game.
he's a
Bro,
Marine, you want to blow guys.
Joe Rogan, you're an intelligent. How many guys do you think are out there right now? We've had this discussion
Millions.
that are married, whatever, but every once in a while they put a feather suit on and they go dance like in anything.
It's probably
And
more
that's-
than 10.
And that's what we used to, we used to go down there. We were dumb kids. We figured out we could rob these dudes that were drunk. They come down to get their dick sucked. So we bait them. We got the captain of police's son, so we weren't going to go to jail. He was better looking than you. We weren't going to go to jail. We put him out there. We put like a guinea T-shirt, those wife beaters with a little gold chain with a cross on it and shit.
The ultimate cock tease.
And we put him out there on
That's
Boulevard
hilarious.
East, and then we hide in the trees. And then he'd go, I'll suck your dick, and the guy would park, and then he'd walk him back. And right before I went to get that one knee, I come up with that straight right kick, John Jones to the fucking nutsack.
God damn,
You go
Joey.
down, we're in the trees. We're hiding in the trees. We fucking fly down from the trees. And we just bam, bam, bam. We take your money. We run. We're 16 guys. Nobody fucking knows what's right and what's wrong.
Not that young.
My mother. No.
Perfect guy
And
to
I was-
rob. Who's the
and
the
I
guy's
was-
not going to the cops?
He's not going to the cops. And you got to remember, my crew was the third crew on. There was a crew from 64th Street. They were not only robbing you, they were taking you to your house. I had friends that were in high school that actually were setting you up. Yeah, let's suck your dick. And then they put you back in your car and go to your house and rob you. We were the light crew. We were just going down there peppering you with a few shots and running away with your
Nobody
dog.
getting their dick
my
sucked.
point about the story was there was one time where
Well, I got beat up. I went down there by myself.
You went there, yeah. You went,
I went down there
there
by myself. I had the
Yeah.
Knicks minus the 8.5, and I only won by 8. So I got caught by the hook, and I called my buddy, and I go, dog, we lost. And he goes, I'm with my girlfriend. But at the time, I was yaying it up. I'm hanging out with my buddies. We're hitting the bag. I'll go down there. I'll go down there, dog. I'm from Jersey. They ain't gonna do nothing to me. This dude lit me up. It could have been Nunez's uncle. It could have been a man that Nunez's uncle. He punched me with so many shots. But again,
He lit your ass up
lit me up.
and had a rock hard boner.
But here's the funny thing, that in hindsight now, I know what Joe's saying. Levels of striking. I never saw striking. It was nighttime, so I didn't even see his hands. I just kept seeing lights. You ever seen lights? I just kept seeing lights.
Because we're watching this chick blow a fucking dog.